Hi.
Hi, everyone. Lee, what is the live today? Please introduce. 10-10.
Oh, see, I had a feeling we're going to go live 10-10. 10 minutes, very fashionably delayed.
Hi, everyone. Lee, what is the live today? I love it. So we're on YouTube live as well, beautiful beings, and welcome Facebook right here. If you look a little bit here, we have Facebook live going on and YouTube live going on at the same moment. Here you go. Okay, we're ready. We had some technical issues for 10 good minutes, and yet we are resilient, and we knew we get to show up today.
Yes.
Words. It's all about words. Every word matters because words turn into matter, literally. Anything to start introduction, like how did you understood, and as now as you're seeing your own experience, like what are you taking away from learning how to utilize words so it supports you, and then learning all the words that doesn't serve you? Because can we say we're all really used to saying, oh, it's so hard, life is hard, money to make is so hard, all men are cheaters, and so on, right? So whatever you took away, let's go there.
I truthfully really didn't believe or disbelieve or really never thought that the words themselves, what I was used to saying without thinking at all, had such a big weight in the beginning. So it was weird to start using different words and trying out new things to tell myself, new conversations, and it works. It really does better. It matters if I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, today is going to be such a hard day. Or if I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, I'm not feeling 100% up until now, yet I'm going to get up, I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to write in my journal, I'm going to do my routine, and it's going to be an amazing day anyway. So yeah, it felt weird in the beginning because I was like, but that's not what I'm feeling right now. Yet, if I kept and I gave it maybe a few months really of practice of trying it out, and it really did make a difference. Like I could see, because sometimes I would say like, I don't really think this is that. No, it can't be that important. It can't be.
Correct.
Yet I felt it. I felt it.
I know. I keep looking at it. It's like somehow I haven't brushed my hair, and I'm like, even if I did, it doesn't look like. So there we go. Enjoy me like this. I don't know what to say.
So yes, after doing both ways, doing one way really for 40 years without any awareness, and then intentionally trying a new way and comparing the two, it really had a lot of difference in how it made me feel and how the rest of my day would look, how the rest of my week would look, sometimes depending on how big the feeling or the event or whatever it was I was referring to was. So I will say words are important.
Magical. Words are magical because words are magic. Oh, Gita is on YouTube. Hi, Gita, you're Gita Haas. Love you. Great to see you up here, and Grand Rising. Right there, a beautiful word that she shared with us. Good morning. I know the intention behind it for her was to wish us and experiences that are supportive and are blissful, right? And yet, the pronunciation of the word matters as the spelling of the word, because what other word sounds like morning?
Morning.
What are you mourning about, right? Like, so again, language in general can either set us up for a win, and even if you don't think you understand deeply the meaning of the word itself, or you're like, hey, Roma, I'm not using the word job or morning with intention, to hurt. Yet again, if there is layers and layers of meanings that word, guess what? It carries the vibration of it. So it's so much easier for Lee to say, it's hard to wake up. And it's, when she said it's so much easier for her mind to keep looking for possibilities that are hard, to keep looking for all the events throughout the that she will have to mourn if she says good morning. Because again, you're basically with your words and intentional, again, the words that are spoken out loud are not the words that we utilize. The same words that we speak out loud, we speak with ourselves. This is our mental conversation. Again, mental conversation creates enormous ripple effect on how our days go, on how our life experiences go. So she says, good morning, it's going to be a hard day. Her brain is like, okay, my commander, my captain, the script writer of this story today told me to look for everything that is hard, everything that is challenging, everything that will give you resistance. Hence again, why a lot of people live in the same physical reality, but live in absolute different worlds. So besides that, you are setting yourself for a win if you know the words to utilize more often, less often, feel into them how they feel. All the words will have an energetical value behind it, not only meaning. There's few meanings, but then there's an energetical value. Per se, I have to, I should, I must. All of these are very easily going to trap you in that feeling of entrapment. Literally like, oh, I have to do it. And I do it with exuberance and have the best result if I'm already entrapped with the chores, with my homework, with putting yourself together, with being nicer to the husband, right? Or cooking a better meal for your family. Do you have to cook a meal for your family? Or you get to enjoy your cooking while you're nurturing your family with valuable foods? And very different sounding, and right away it gives you all this freedom. That is one plan, right? You're sharing anything about your own day. You're having mental conversation with all these words that serves us or not serves us. Another very important plank is beautiful YouTube, beautiful Facebook beings, right? Because there is no Mr. Facebook or Mr. YouTube. So anyone, beautiful hearts that are watching behind these cameras, guess what? Consciousness does not have perception of Lee sitting next to me. My consciousness, whatever I'm sharing, whatever I'm talking, even I'm talking to her about her story and her life. If I'm talking about her behind her back, right? If I'm saying something about her, my consciousness has no perception of somebody else being alive, meaning it only sees everything as itself, as one. It's only one of us here. So when I suddenly go and gossip, when I suddenly behind the back saying something, guess what? My subconscious, that is a freaking hypnosis, basically at all the times. If I say, did you see? Did you see? Did you see how stupid she acted? Did you see? This is such an ugly sweater. It's actually very pretty, right? Examples. Let's see if Ellie gets triggered. I don't think that even. Wow, I don't. And how fun is that? How fun is that? Like, okay, I can say whatever. And guess what? My subconscious here, it hears it. Roma is stupid. It hears that I am the stupid. I am wearing the ugly sweater, right? So again, not only in conversation with my own self, with mental conversation, not yet gossiping, talking about other, talking about, again, negatively about what's going on even in the world. And with the chaos, beautiful beings, every thought of your matters. Imagine 1 million of you sending in an absolute opening and beautiful love and light to all the people on that side, Middle Eastern, to all the people, Maui, all the people in Ukraine, versus again, emotionally and mentally sending the signals of hate. We're just multiplying in that space, hate already. Because every thought, every word of ours is an impulse. It's an electrical impulse that goes out into the world. And then we have to get it back. So everything that is playing out outside, well, guess what? It's within your consciousness. Your consciousness, our consciousness, is playing outside and showing us as a beautiful mirror what is happening. Because the moment Lee absolutely rewrote, and what really supports, I have an interpretation about the deeper support is the journaling and writing it down. What really supports for you to catch and be very aware of what words are you utilizing, or are you supporting yourself, right? Are you setting yourself for a win? Journaling is in a great way. We already subdued our journals this AM, right? This rising, instead morning, I say this rising, reading, high, right? That's one thing that, again, it feels when you're used to, it's hard to change the word hard, and yet once it flips, you will find so many beautiful words and so many ways of actually expressing yourself without putting a heavy energy outside and then already declaring what your mind needs to look for that day. Correct? So journaling, I will say, is one of the strongest awareness practices, because you can see the words you're writing. And then when you see the words you're writing, you get to rewrite your story. And once you rewrite your story from within, Lee, again, what happened? You know what? The other thing that came to me yesterday, not everybody needs to change to begin with. Yet if we can have one person in household fully change, like all their households, and in a very different context level. She doesn't have kids per se yet. We have family kids. If mom work and year in and 2 years in with all their beautiful practices, kids are flipping. Even teenage kids are absolutely in their equilibrium, meaning balance. They're grounded. They're communicating. They don't have an issues, as in every teenager is normal to have in a family, right? Like, again, we've never learned to communicate soul to soul through intimacy. We communicate through bullshit masks, through bullshit words. We keep sending to each other signals of negativity by gossiping about each other, by putting these words and, again, these vibrations into, and then we're sitting here and we're like, oh, it's happening to me. Look at all of this. Look, it's attacking. It's the word is happening to me. The world is happening to me. I mean, again, there is no other, whatever you sow, you reap. No, whatever you reap, you sow. How does it?
So, wow, yeah.
There's a saying,
yeah.
right? Yeah. So whatever you put out,
yeah.
you reap what you sow. Yeah. Whatever you put out there, it's come back multiply. It has to. That's how the ripple works. The stone, drop it into the water. That's the initial little action, right? That you just took. So let's say you talked about somebody behind their back. That's that. Now the ripples are bigger and bigger going out there. One of the biggest ones is going to come back to you. By the way, beautiful beings, if anybody has an issue by hearing others talking about you, again, it's a beautiful way to check in. If you have triggers, like Leo just heard, her sweater is ugly. She didn't have any trigger because she doesn't care what the rose
She loves her sweater.
Yes, she doesn't care which ones. Who cares, right? And again, thinking never supported us. So, and who cares about others' opinion unless they have experience? So check in. And second, if you are really mastering your inner powers and you want to be triggered, you can utilize, send all the negative power energy to me if you want to, because I love it. I actually transmute it and utilize it for my own power. Because if I didn't reacted to your gossip, guess what we just did? Alchemize. And now the energy is mine and I can do whatever I want. I'm actually stronger. I actually added the beautiful energy to myself, especially, and if I send out love to those people, even more multiplied. And the beauty is, when the people put that out there, guess what comes back? They're actually taking my negative stuff, the more they're talking about it, and then they have to transmute it. And usually they're not going to know to transmute it because to begin with, they wouldn't be putting it out there if they would be aware enough, right? So if somebody's not going to do you enjoy, say thank you, because they're taking all your negative, still not transmuted energies, if you do decide to respond versus to react. Okay, so words, class, master class, words create your reality. We can call it words or magic. We can call it words create your worlds, whatever that is. It's next Tuesday on the 17th. Noon. The links are everywhere. We will put the link here under this YouTube, and you can do it on Facebook as well. Links will be put under follow. It's 44. If you can show up, you have a recording, and you can watch recording at any time, and you have recording forever. Take some notes, bring, because again, it is very important. If you can learn your language and then learn what you think is, again, an ordinary kind of day-to-day speech and words, there are so many of them that gets in our way. So if we can learn this, I mean, really, it feels like magic how your world shifts. It feels like magic. Anything to add, and then we'll go into some words and stuff.
No, not at the moment. When we go into the words, I will have an example or two.
Okay, perfect. I will share. So again, there is a lot of books there out there. There's a lot of knowledge out there. Yet, let's go quick through the main things, from setting yourself up for a win for your health, for the way your body looks and feels, for the way your relationships go, okay, for your business and your ways of being. So let's go into the body. What are usually the words that you right now wouldn't utilize? You did. Anytime you think about your body's beautiful beings, what do you think? What are the words you come into your awareness, right? What are the sentences you utilize when it comes about how you feel about your body? What are whatever that is? So, Lee, what wouldn't you use anymore that you used to utilize?
I wouldn't use, first of all, I wish my body was this and this instead of what it is.
Love it.
First of all. So hard to get in shape. It's so hard not to eat what I really want to eat. Why can't I be like this or that, or eat what I want and still stay so thin and strong and tight everywhere?
Can you, by the way? Can you think it's
I am.
You can, because again, reality works. Rita is on YouTube. Rita, we love you. She's a grand rising. Gita, see, grand rising. So Gita and Rita, I love it. Gita and Rita, it's almost like Sigita, my mom. How beautifully she just shared a few little things, right? It is so natural for us to say, I wish I would be smaller. I wish my waist would be this. I wish I would have bigger boobs. I wish my hair, and so on. And guess what? Again, because everything that comes out of your mouth creates your own reality, body cannot do anything else for you but to show you what you're putting out there. Because yes, Lee doesn't need to work out 7 hours a week and sweat and be on a diet for her body to shape the way she wants it to shape. It's to intentionally put a beautiful, inspired action with fully emotionally already being there. When you're on a camera, I just spit, I think, right?
I don't know.
I swear.
Luckily, I'm not in front of you either.
Yeah, no, I swear it came out. Did you see the spit? Nice. So emotionally and then mentally, she absolutely rewrote her story about her body. So give me now, in a few sentences, what your story used to be about the body per se. And then, okay, so you kind of said it.
Yeah.
So what would be now your story? Like how would you journal about your body? And she does. How would you do the mirror work? And she does. Yet share with the audience, please. Like what usually comes up right now? What are those things that comes out of your mouth, or look at yourself? What comes? I remember there was a day, I think almost, I don't know, 8 months, 6 months, I don't know, you know, the timing. But you came out and you said, I don't remember how she said it. It was the cutest thing ever. And I told her, yeah, I know, me the same. So when you started really awakening to your inner beauty, to your inner divinity, again, everything starts looking different. You don't perceive things the way you used to. And it was so funny because Lee came out in the rising and she said, I don't know. Every day I look into myself and I look more and more beautiful. I don't know what's happening. I am really wow. Right?
Yeah.
And literally I was like, oh my God, so fun for me to share this as well, because otherwise it might sound like you're sharing from ego, and really not. The first times you really see yourself through this pure, innocent eyes without the filters. Look, I have goosebumps everywhere, without the labels, without all the identities that you took up on from your wherever you grew up. I almost said raised, and yeah, please let's not say raising a child, like not the cattle, right? Like nurturing. That's another thing. A lot of like clients, younger teenagers and beautiful adults, and they take on themselves these paradigms, these old paradigms, literally through the words that mom, dad, grandma spoke. Because for their subconscious, again, is absolutely undeniable. They can't even question. If they heard that to be single mom is very, very hard, to make money is very, very hard, that this is a burden and this is not a burden. And again, these facts are unquestionable, and these kids already, as they grow up, they will already start to struggle with the same issues that you've been talking about. They're not going to question. Their minds, in their subconscious, it's a fact. It's a fact. Again, can it be fun? Can cooking for your family could bring joy to you? Can it?
It does every day.
And she does. Like, again, I don't know who she is, because Lee lately cooks and cleans and it was the joy, really, with your tasks are getting done with joy. And it's her result of setting her up for a win through her language consistently. I mean, there is not a day in 2.5 years that she missed a journal unless she decided not to show up in a different way for that day. And so she is like, okay, I gotta give myself some space. But the thing, it was like totally, probably 2.5 years, like totally. I mean, 2 weeks, I'm gonna put the maximum limit, like not even 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I will say around 7 days to whatever. Yes. So your story now about your body, for example.
First of all, it's the love, which is what happened that day that I was looking at the mirror and said, wow, I've never seen myself this way. And really, I never had love when I was looking in the mirror before. And all of a sudden I felt love. And that was after a few months of speaking to myself differently than what I had the 40 years before. So took a little bit of rewiring, took a little bit of time to rewire. And all of a sudden I stood in the mirror and I felt love. And I was like, wow, did I look like this to other people the whole time that I was asleep? Like, I don't know, because I saw something different before, something that I didn't want to even look at.
Yeah.
And then all of the imperfections and all of the things that I've always felt were just horribly, like they don't even get to be shown to other people so they don't get blind or something like that. All of them became, okay, so that's a part of it's a part of my story. It's a part of my way of how I got here. It's a part of how I am looking in the mirror now and feeling love for myself. And my body doesn't have to look. I said it doesn't have to look the way that Rama's body looks after
Has nothing
freaking 40 years of every day. Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. How am I?
Doesn't need to.
Exactly.
She's her
My
authentic beauty.
My beauty, my prettiness,
Health,
my health,
vitality, energy,
Exactly.
or even like how you used to get dressed up before to go out. Like sometimes, and again, like Lee was overweight, but there's people that are not overweight. I was never overweight. 10 years ago, I had issues dressing up to go out because of the labels that I kept dragging and emotional, unprocessed emotions from the past. it didn't matter that I was athletic. I didn't see myself beautiful or sexy, and I was struggling to put the outfit together. And there were times I would just throw in a towel and I wouldn't even go out because I didn't feel pretty enough. Like, is that nuts? How many
It is
times
nuts.
you walked out?
And it's also nuts for someone like me in the past, looking at Roma and thinking that my insecurities are bigger than Roma's insecurities because I have 100 pounds extra or 150 pounds
No.
extra.
Exactly.
They're just different.
Yeah.
They're not
Same.
bigger or small, the same feeling.
Yeah, it's the same heart. It's feeling not good enough. It's feeling unlovable. That's how we connect the beautiful beings, through that intimacy, right? Through the intimacy into me, I see. But again, if into me I don't see, of course I cannot connect to her through the soul, through the heart. Hence, will not feel seen. Hence, again, most of the couples live there. Most of the romantic relationships, business relationships, moms and dads with their kids don't have intimacy because of their own traumas and unprocessed emotions, because they keep continuing to reinforcing onto their, again, you might not even notice, and of course the intention is not there to hurt the child, right, or to give him something that is not yet. An awareness, I will say, it's kind of at this point in this age of knowledge is a blissful ignorance. And I have no sorry for anyone that is not. I mean, you have your body, you have your health, you have your kids. You really wanna take care of yourself, you will find a way. You will keep searching. Like, you came and you asked. You came and you're like, okay, why are you so calm? What are you taking? Give it to me. She kept looking and looking, and you come and you ask. And again, I'm not talking about you gotta come here, but again, there's books, there's information, there's everything out there. So Stephanie, but I'm gonna tell her we're on live. It's okay. It's okay. She freaked out. And then, oh,
1 second.
you're on live.
Hello, right, okay.
She lost
Come
her.
here.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna take 2.
She will take 2. Yeah. So I'll continue with your stuff. One of the great books. There is plenty. So let's start with everyday again. Body. So body. How are you seeing yourself? How are you speaking to yourself when you're dressing up, when you're in the bathroom, and so on? Let's go into the being. Let's go into the being throughout your own days. Okay. Does it behoove you to wake up and say, hey, the day will be heavy, the day will be hard, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this? Guess what? You're already commanding. Every word is a command. Every cell in your body eavesdrops, right? That's how you say it. On everything you think, you say. It's like, again, it communicates at all the times, right? Our beautiful fascia, right? It's a beautiful communication tool as well, that communicates in between our body and the rest of the universe. And it's listening to your thoughts. It's listening to every word you say, and so on. Yeah, I love it. I love how we get to support whenever we get to support, even in the
And
middle of life.
now Randy gets to step in and support, so we are back here.
Okay, perfect. Yes. It's like, yeah, the neighbor lost something, and we get to show up no matter what. And again, that's not scary. Like, maybe 10 years ago, I would freak out and say, oh, it's alive. How dare you? Like, life is life. Life is life, and you gotta take care of all of it.
And
So,
I was about to say absolutely not, and then I saw her face, and I saw that it's not a normal, oh, I'm just freaking out, like a regular thing. I was like, I get to go and make sure.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. I see Rasa is putting something out there okay. So Rasa says we're telling their story, and I love it. So again, Rasa, watching on Facebook, did coach with her for a while, 9 months, and then she had 6 months, I think, or something like this. So definitely a year and a half. She is going after her dream life now, really attracting it and magnetizing it, and moved to Madagascar, and she's typing and watching us live from Island Life. Rasa, we love you and miss you. Again, we have plenty of evidence. Don't take any words I'm saying, like don't try to believe in them. I don't need that from you. Why we're sharing what we share, and I'm not again here to defend my truth, to prove it in any way. We have evidence and we keep collecting evidence, and it works for us. It might not work for you yet. If you feel that you could utilize some more tools, that you could understand deeper where you're standing in your own way, the language will be one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things. And let's say, even if it's a little bit more challenging in the beginning, to keep practicing it. So if Lee would get stuck on hardcore, then what we do shadow or coaching. We're like, go there. Okay, why Lee feels insecure? Like there's so many things you connected, like even business-wise with money, right? Like the moment business comes in, she like cuts off and gets fragmented, and this is the only way to make business. And even through her wording, you can see it and feel it. Versus now she's broadening all of the possibilities and probabilities. It's not only possibilities, like it's happened, it's done. And again, it was through her wording, through her sharing, that we understood where is her story about the finances, right? Anybody, beautiful beings that are going into private businesses per se, if you don't have the 9-to-5 job, even if you do have as a job, I will invite you rather say, to get my job or me, the job, rather today at work, because work has a very different energetical value. Very than job. So even if you are in a physical situation while your body is still shaping, right, you're already supporting yourself energetically, emotionally, and everywhere to attract and align fully with what you want to see physically as well. Okay, body being this. So what other things? Oh my God, there's so many.
There's so much, which is good that this is an intro anyway.
A master class, yes.
So yeah. I will say business, words made a huge, actually the first area that I saw immediate results, changing the way I was talking about my work or to myself about having to do the work. That was the quickest return. And that happened specifically with the Airbnbs. The first few months of me doing Airbnbs was, for me, felt extremely stressful. It was like I had a huge corporate job with 7 bosses on my head, and like they were beating me down every day. That's what it felt like inside. Every time someone sent a message, every time someone put a review, every time someone complained, I almost crumbled. And going to clean or make sure or do maintenance, I switched the way I looked at it. I switched the way I talked about it, and immediately I was like, this is my business that literally saved me. The pandemic came, my husband got furloughed, all of these things that happened. This is my baby. This is what I acquired for myself. I was wise. I had my gut telling me what to invest in, and it's there for me. And as soon as that sank, I was, oh my God, I get to go and take that keeps taking care of me and keeping me safe and secure and all of these. So that was the first thing. It was the business first, and then the body and the relationship. Yeah.
Relationships as well. How times you say to each other, you made me do this, you made me feel this way. Like you're just telling the world that you gave. And meaning you're always dependent on circumstances or somebody else, and that's just not true. That is the biggest lie you ever heard. Yes, maybe you will like flow through this roller coaster and feel all the spectrum of the feelings. And I mean, And there's sometimes you feel all the feelings in the awakening when you have these realizations, when you're going through breakdown, when you're about to step in and break through, you already feel it. The tears of joy already comes in while you're still transmuting the pain and the uncomfort. And again, it's such a beautiful dance. Your relationships, I love to see what Ras, nobody can make you do anything unless you give power. Exactly. So again, how do you talk about yourself and your bodies? How do you talk about yourself and your business? How do you talk about yourself and your day, everyday life? How do you talk and refer to your relationships? Not only romantic, again, how many times you judge behind the back, not even straight to the person's eyes. Like that, just multiplying 10 and asking for getting a slap in the face. Like you are electromagnetic being. What are you doing? Stop. You're just putting it on yourself. It's like, oh, now you gotta just wait until it comes. Like, don't do that. Take all of it. There are so many words. Like, the vocabulary is expanding in a very different direction, I will say. Yeah, there's half of the words I really don't use anymore. Like, she's bad. I don't know what I said. I don't know when I utilize word hard. Wrong. I don't know. I don't utilize hard, right? Including these. Trying. Please take out all the tryings out of your sentences. Never ever try again unless you're trying something on in the moment. Correct? What others? Yeah, bring something in more of like whatever your experiences are. It's so funny. I'm now thinking there's so many words that I
Now
don't
you
even
gotta,
use.
and yeah, me too.
Like all the negative things, especially when you're putting out there onto someone, lose them. Lose them. Oh, you have nothing else to do but to sit there and talk about the third person when they're not here.
And let me tell you, that is something that I was very used to doing. This is how I grew up, literally. We grew up gossiping about each other.
Sitting on the benches,
Like,
watching everyone and gossiping.
Yeah, it was a time-passing activity. It was, we did it about our friends, about our family, about like everything. It's literally my whole childhood, my whole coming to adultness was around gossiping.
And it's so
And
funny.
being Israelis, we 90% of the things we also told you to your face. It didn't matter. We gossip all the time.
Correct.
And it was a habit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Lithuanian. I'm really not. I was born in Lithuania. I don't care for those titles. By the way, start not utilizing so much titles because those titles are all imitations. How many times do you utilize a title to put on somebody else a response? Well, I am your wife. I am your wife, and you didn't see that I'm upset today. You didn't ask me. You didn't call me from work 3 times to check on me. How many of you utilize this onto your boyfriend's husband? Like, I am your girlfriend. You must do that. Again, it's your own misalignment. It's your own non-awareness of not being able to take, non-awareness of being able to take responsibility. That's all what it is. And again, these titles don't support you as well, because usually, oh, look, I cooked for you such a great dinner because I'm your wife. Usually they don't use it that way. Usually you use it when you need something, when you ask them, when you scream at him how bad he is, right? Like suddenly you bring in, for all these years, look what I did for you. What did you do for me? I'm your wife, right? Like, whatever. So again, a lot of heaviness comes through your own language, through your own ways of setting you up for a win, or you're setting yourself up for suffering. And suffering meaning, there's few meanings in suffering. Suffering meaning, I should one of the words that we don't utilize at all, because I should is just entrapment. I should by whose rules I should. In what world? You might should in your world. World. In my world, there is no I should, I have to, I must, I need. Ooh, I need. I've got goosebumps. How many of you came to your romantic relationship or Anybody for that matter. We need to, and like, you might not even be aware, but the other person's inside, it's already, like, we're done. First of all, word need is needy energy. That's all. It's a strong, needy energy. I love how my life doesn't have, yeah, yours is. Love it. I love Instagram and Facebook as well. Don't worry about it. Okay, need, but I was going somewhere else.
You were, yeah, you took such a sharp turn and I lost you too. I don't remember where you were.
The need romantic relation, all this stuff. Let's go into business as well a little bit more. So like Lee said, is such a difference, like the client, you know, rebooked and I remember, but client per se rebooked. Oh, I thought business as well. If anybody's going into private businesses, if you don't have, that's where I move.
Okay.
If you don't have 9 to 5, again, there's so much info out there. You can do way more research, and in masterclass, I will give you a little bit more of clarity on many more words. Yet, if you are continuing in your private business to sign contracts and having an income, then you're definitely taxable. Versus if you're declaring compensation, it's a very different story. So even in your business, not only knowing and shifting that full story about the business, yet the business wording itself, again, has a lot of impact on how you will realize this reality, how you will materialize this reality of yours, how this business will be built. Will it be challenging and yet profound, or will it be hard? You can't overwhelm too much, right? Like, again, when you were saying, I'm overwhelmed. I'm not organized in this moment, I see. It's a little bit overwhelming because I'm not really there. I don't have clarity at the moment, right? And that's already allows me, because if I'm overwhelmed by all the things that are coming my way, what can I do about it, really? Not so much, because the things make me overwhelmed. Yet if I am the one that is misorganized or doesn't have clarity, sometimes we don't prioritize enough. You know, sometimes like the week comes and yes, life is lifing, but yet we get to stop and reprioritize things. Our lives are usually Tuesdays, right? Usually I'll have a 24-hour notice for every. And we had nothing this week. We had to shift many times, and all amazing, because again, we don't have an image how it's supposed to look, and we're ready for all of it at any moment, and we make sure that everyone is aligned. Because if Lee is not aligned to the approval, we're not doing it at all good. It's okay, not a problem. And as long as everybody is aligned and it works for us, no matter what comes our way, we'll be able to figure it out and handle it. You don't need to figure out, again, more so flow, walk through it, learn through it, expand through it. Everything is possibility for expansion. Utilizing, I went through, there was another thing that came up and it skipped my mind.
Problem, I would say.
Oh yes, problem, possibility, it's always a possibility. Oh, what a problem, right? Versus, so what happens when you say, look, this is such a problem, or I have problem. Like, what does your brain gonna look for?
Obstacles.
Obstacles.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you commanded your beautiful neurocortex to work against you, and it doesn't know that because it doesn't know wrong or right. It doesn't give you purpose, right? It literally, you ask for it, it has to give it to you. It doesn't know any better. So instead, now it's looking for problems and obstacles, right? And the resistance, and what is going to happen wrong, and what is against me, and the world is against me, and it's again to me, versus as, whoo, how did that? Okay, love is laughing. Is that another? Even
How do we shift?
Yeah.
How do we shift it?
So you don't even have to automatically to know that it's a possibility, because maybe again, maybe you're in the beginning of the transformation. And like Lee said, it took me a while, a little bit to practice, right? So even if you're like, every problem is possibility, yeah, you're not there, it's okay, it's perfect. You are at, would it be a possibility? What happens, Roma? I would just ask this question myself. I wouldn't force myself to feel that way. I wouldn't force myself to think that way. I wouldn't force myself to kind of repeat something that I don't believe or trust, or know. Yet, I would ask myself an open-ended question. Is like, Roma, could that be a possibility? Or would you be able, Roma, to accept that you don't see something right now? And that's where I start, right? And then again, if you keep getting stuck on that one thing, on that title, on that word, constant entity, then we sit down and we do deeper work. Then you sit down and write out all the story about that label. How many of you has a labels or titles as, I suck at business, or I don't know how to do money, or I am not creative, I can't write, I can't speak. I didn't want to share these. No, Little now is confused if she's doing lights or no, and if she's speaking, she's like, is that me? And it's funny because every time I ask her to, okay, will you help me? Well, I'm like, Lee, you've been doing lights, you speak right away. Did I? Do I? And it's funny, it's like I gotta prove her that she does it. The videos from 2 years ago, by the way, beautiful beings, go and check out our videos on the YouTube where Lee, from the beginning of this process, works her way through the expansions and contractions. And there is a lot of videos that she shares. She shares about romantic stuff. She shares about shifting the story. She shares about taking the masks off. She even shares that she didn't listen to a beautiful man with a that acts sometimes as a husband, right? Never listened to him generally in 6 years of marriage. And the last 2 years are very different for both of them. And you can see on that man is smiling. Because again, you might not be aware when you are miserable that you make others miserable. Yeah, I guarantee you are. Yes. Yeah, that's the aware. You're not aware of what you're not aware of. That's the key why there are coaches like I and others, because when we're not aware of something, we're not aware of it. It doesn't work any other way. You can't shift it because you're still not aware of it. It's a blind spot. And the blind spot of us not understanding that your consciousness only knows you. I'm repeating this yet again, such an important plank for everybody's transformation. It doesn't know Lee, it doesn't know. If I speak anything about anybody, about the neighbor, now about the neighbor. What, she's stupid to knock in the middle of the night, like, you get it? Nobody knew, she didn't know, we didn't know. We even didn't know in that moment how we're gonna react. We could have just like continued like this. We could have just done this, right? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yes, we're totally ready to go by herself, yes. So yeah, absolutely, that's what Lee's getting post on the coaching. I love it, and she's strongly starting to support her own tribe, her own friends are having now coaching calls with her, and that's again why we don't need to change everyone. One person in a household all the way. I'm not worried about the rest of the world. The new earth is already being born. One in the household, because then either the household evolves very fast or the household falls apart, yet it's beautiful because it's supposed to. And this, if it can continue into expansion, and yet again, everybody's life will shift in that household. Either they have to fall off, they get to fall off, or they get to continue with you to expand. I was saying something else. Rasa, I just love it. Reading Rasa said it keeps I keep getting distracted, and yet I love it. Okay, and what else to add? Anything from your wording? to reality. Again, we'll have some slides probably, we'll have some words, we'll have quite a few words for you to write down, not to utilize or not to. Okay, so I have no idea if that's a Zoom or we're still live. We might have finished it. I don't know.
Maybe it's a sign.
Maybe it's a sign that we're over anyways. So either way, we'll finish right now. We get fully coaching and everything. Oh, 11. Yes,
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah.
perfect, amazing. I didn't know. So love and light, this is the few planks. Let me summarize it for you. So totally flipping your story. Either it's about your body, your ways of being, your finances, your relationships, your business, and so on. To support yourself how to do it, follow links on my bios on everyone. Lee, can you share the link as well under your Facebook? Again, it's $44. The recording will be made. You can rewatch it as many times. Make sure again you have a pen, notes. It's better to take notes. It is so much better to practice writing down as well, because it's imprinting into your body very differently as well. You see it outside, right? If it's in your head, it doesn't really do anything for you. So you gotta take it out of your body. You gotta say it out loud. You gotta look at it from a third per se perspective, right? Second thing, knowing now that you understand that the consciousness does not see us as separation and see everything as one. And anything you say about others, body, business, their ways of being, any judgment, your subconscious takes it as you're saying it about yourself and will create that kind of a reality for you. You're asking for it, so enjoy. And I'll say last yet not least, in the moment, again, the awareness of the words that you utilize, because we can all share here. Oh, the village here. Hi, beautiful people. Yeah, I think we're off YouTube, but again, I know it's okay. We're gonna
Yeah, I
leave.
started automatically looking here.
Yeah, a little bit more. I don't know.
Where we're at.
Yeah, Dovila understands the wording as well, very well. Ras already shared. Dovila, can you share like in a sentence? Did you feel the difference? Do you see the difference when you start flipping what you're saying and how you're saying? When you start flipping your mental conversation, when you started filtering what is serving you and what is not serving you. And again, without awareness, you will not be able to do it, because I can tell you not to use hard, right? But until you really start catching yourself and shifting in the middle, right on the spot, you can't really do much, okay? So awareness is the key, and the homework would be this. Sit and ponder on one of your stories. Maybe about you, maybe about your life, maybe about your business, maybe about your relationship. Like, do you have a story about relationship? I always end up with the cheaters. That's a way to set yourself up, young lady. Don't do it.
Or men.
Or again, men are all cheaters, right? Like, or whatever that is. Because you will have to walk through this reality. Magic. Every letter. You know how kind of like when you look at the Chinese and it looks so weird, because how can one symbol mean so much? It's the same in English. It's the same behind every word. It's the same behind every letter. Even your Hebrew letters, right? One of the letters is the fire symbol. It means fire. And then behind fire, you translate even more stuff. So yes, every single thing that comes out, the beautiful whole here is magical spells. utilize it for empowerment. And if you would like to continue the blissful endurance, utilize it the way you want to. I love you anyways. That's it.
That's it.
Anything?
We'll see you on the 17th, whoever wants to hear more. And if you do have a story that you're writing down and you're joining the class and you would like us to support you in flipping, then bring it. We have it ready with you.
Oh yeah, amazing. We'll flip the stories. We'll go into words. We'll go into your body words. We'll go into your being words. We'll go into business a little bit more so, right? Again, I'll share as much as I embody. I have way more knowledge, yet until I don't embody, I don't know. I don't preach it or I don't teach. So here you go. What did I say?
It's too long for me to see from over here.
Okay. Absolutely. I have so many stories what our words can do, good and bad. Oh, it defies any logic, yet it's materializing very fast. Yes. Defies any logic, materializing very fast.
Yeah.
Amen, amen, amen. Dovile, I appreciate you for your sharing. Even the word but you wouldn't use, you forgot. I know that for a second right now. So yeah, but is a stop. It's a hard stop. So the momentum might be not there. There's a little bit more of resistance between word but and yet. So when you're sharing something, or even you want to confront or you want to say, bring in the word yet instead but, right? Like Lee, I appreciate you so much for showing up here today. Yet you were not ready for our technical stuff.
Nor will I really be.
Ever. And then I'm gonna end yet. I love you and thank you for every moment in this life. So thank you, beautiful beings, as we're gonna turn off all the screens. And I trust one of you saw us. I have no idea. And I'm gonna go brush my hair today for the rest of the day. So I'm a little bit more brushed. Bye. We are powerful. Done. Thank you for reminding. Yes, Dovile, thank you for being here as well. You are powerful beings. You're amazing. You're badasses. Woman and man, a mankind that can create anything they want to. Keep remembering, even if it's little by little. In fact, anything we share and I share, it's not my information. It's information in the quantum field. You all have access to it, all of it. And that's why sometimes Lee says, oh, I didn't know what I'm doing, but I was doing it all my life. Because it's intuitive, it's in us, okay? Everything that is true lives within us. Bye, beautiful beings.